dynamic mobile network, and you're bringing them all together into this new way of doing things. Nobody's done it before.
Good morning, world mobile community. Welcome in here live from Rare Evo, day number 2 here, taking place at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. I've got my fellow co-hosts here. We've got Clover Notes. Clover, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Doing well, excited, happy to be here.
Of course, and we've also got Rob here joining us. How are you doing today, Rob?
Doing great. Excited to be here.
All right, let's go ahead and just jump right on in here. You guys have the World Mobile Alliance booth. How has the experience been so far?
And it's been amazing so far. We started off really strong with an event on Thursday night. There was so many people that showed up. It literally blew my mind. I was not expecting that many Earnode operators to show up and that much interest in our booth. And we're very thankful that the World Mobile provided us with this opportunity, as well as the Rare Evo team. So far, it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I agree. It was a huge turnout. I don't know. Do we count? I'm thinking 80 plus people were there. And it was standing room only. We were able to meet a bunch of people. We saw some pretty famous people. Rob from Digital Asset News, Dan Network. Mickey was there, and the rest of the team that was here from both Reno and abroad. So it's been a lot of fun on Thursday night, and then the booth has just been nonstop. We actually have some amazing Earnode operators helping out the booth. Mick has been helping out a ton, and Jeff, and it's nonstop. In fact, we're taking up the hallways because it's so packed and so popular at the World Mobile booth. It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I talked to a few people yesterday, and they said, hey, World Mobile booth is probably the busiest booth we've seen. There's always a ton of people just hanging out in front. And I said, what can we do? We're taking over Rare Evo,
All right. So that said, we've actually got quite a few ENOs here. I can't flip the camera back for everybody else to see. But we've got Mark, who's contributed here quite a bit here. We've got Wave Nodes. We've got Eric. We've got Jeff from Delta Nodes, a lot of familiar faces here. We've got Tom and Matt. I just want to say thank you for everybody thank you for showing up here. We did get a little bit of a late start here. We're going to try to hopefully get a couple of members here from World Mobile. There's been batch number 2, and I actually want to open the floor to anybody who's watching as well. If you guys want to jump on stream, talk about batch number 2, how you guys have contributed to that, and maybe what you guys' thoughts are about that. We're more than happy to have you guys on here. Did you guys purchase any Airnodes, and maybe what are you guys' thoughts about that latest round selling out as quickly as it did?
I was lucky enough to get some nodes on batch number 2 and batch number 1. You
have a monopoly on the thing.
No, I just have quick fingers, one of those. But yeah, I would compare the two releases, and I would say that it was really, really improved. And it was made much easier as far as the process goes. Now, as far as the timing, I was absolutely not surprised that it sold out in 11 minutes because I saw the amount of community members and Earnode operators and everyone else super excited about this, and it went fast, and it was really good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get involved. I mentioned yesterday when we were talking that I was actually, in order to get here, I had to take my kids to my mom's house, and it was about a 6-hour drive. So I was right in the middle of that drive when the drop happened, and it was funny because on the way back, I called Clover, and the first thing he said was, "You've been offline, haven't you?" And I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "You're not going to believe this sale." And so we when I was driving home, he was telling me about it and how quick it was. And it was Cal was telling me that in seconds, those 5 Apex were gone. And within 11 minutes, everything was reserved. And it's amazing because these are nodes that are already installed. And so as soon as they turned over and the papers were signed, people were already generating revenue because these things were already producing. And in fact, there's a few people on X that were posting that they couldn't believe it. They just bought the node, and the same day they were making money off of it. And that's just a testament to how hard World Mobile is working in Reno, because they're getting these things up there, they're getting things ready, and the moment they're ready to turn them over, the moment they're sure that everything's fixed and in place, they're doing that for the community. And you saw on Tuesday just how rabid the community was. People want to get these, they want to be involved, they want to invest in the sharing economy, they want to make things better for the people that they're helping with these nodes, but they're also improving their own situation by doing things that are going to benefit them and their families as well.
Now, if I may, Clover, you recently shared some of your earnings from your initial Earnode that went out from batch number 1. Any updates on that, and maybe sort of how things are accruing as we get ready to jump into the next month, where you should be able to make that second claim?
Yeah, so the revenue is increasing slightly. I've seen that. And the claim process was very simple. I was given the chance to claim through fiat or USDT. So I had that choice. And again, like Rob said, second batch, it was quite different, because when I first bought in batch number 1, I had to wait about a month and a half for someone to come out, install the nodes, test them out, put them online. And it was a huge event when they went online. But now the difference between batch 1 and batch 2 is all of the nodes already have been installed. So as soon as you bought them, it took like literally, I would say 2 hours. I mean, they said 48 to 72 hours, but it took for me 2 hours to see my node live, and it's already generating revenue. So it's like the sharing economy has started. This is just the beginning, and it's booming, you know.
All right. Now, one other topic that I know is a big one, and maybe Rob, we can hand this one over to you. There's the Minutes Network airdrop. Have you guys signed up for that? I know that there hasn't been a lot of details about that, but what do we know so far about that maybe we can sort of share with the community here?
You know, it's amazing. There's a massive community with Minutes already, and it's, you know, I used to complain about, you get on Telegram and there's like 3 or 4 different World Mobile channels depending on what groups you're in, and trying to follow, because there might be 500 messages in a day, and it seems like there's about 1,000 messages a day for Minutes. People are really excited about this. We know that Josh Watkins is the CEO of Minutes Network, and he is the brother of Mickey Watkins. Josh was one of the co-founders of World Mobile, and so there's a very close relationship. Josh really has a heart for World Mobile, and there's that great, not only just a great relationship, but it's symbiotic, and they're going to be working together. Minutes Network is going to be using the IAN network and World Mobile in order to further what they're doing on the blockchain. So it was no surprise when they came out and said, we want to do something to benefit the World Mobile community, and so they allocated, I believe it was 2.5% of their entire tokens for airdrops for World Mobile or WMT holders. We know now that just this past week, a post came out saying, sign up with your email to get on the list to be notified about this airdrop. I think they're still working. I don't know if it's the tokenomics or they're working in the logistics of it. We know that right now, World Mobile token, WMT, is on Cardano. It bridges to a few other chains, but eventually with it transitioning over, we're going to see this migration to WMTX, which will be on multiple chains that we know as well. Minutes Network token is on Ethereum. It's an ERC20. And so as that migration happens, I think they probably need to line up, because right now most of the WMT is on Cardano addresses. Well, you can't send ERC20s to a Cardano address, so there probably needs to be some sort of either migration happening or further follow-up to get those wallets going. But we do know that a massive amount of token is going to get dropped on this community that is now, not only it's the World Mobile community, but a lot of us are pushing and supporting Minutes Network as well. We also know that they talked about it. It's going to be for token holders. It's going to be for Earthnode operators, because if you remember, every Earthnode NFT has 100,000 WMT embedded in a smart contract that you had to send in order to get that Earthnode NFT. So there will be people will not be excluded. The only question I have right now is they're able to track these wallets and communicate with people, because you had to register for a vault with World Mobile. You had to put your email address in as a fail-safe. And so I'm wondering if and I don't know this, this is my speculation, if you need to have your WMT, your Earth node in the World Mobile Vault in order for that snapshot to occur, in order for them to recognize your WMT, because there's a lot of WMT on exchanges, there's WMT in liquidity pools. I don't know how they're going to do airdrops to liquidity pools or to exchanges. So it's my theory, and maybe it's confirmed in the chats. It's just hard to keep up with everything because the community is so wild. I'm thinking that if you have WMT, it might be good to keep it in the vault or prepare for the transition, the migration over to WMTX.
And you raise a really good point about the liquidity pools. I think in times that I've seen it, they've sort of been excluded. It's like, hey, if you want to be a part of this airdrop, you need to make sure that like those tokens are in a non-custodial wallet, not in a liquidity pool. Now, Clover, you're giving me the look. I know that, well, at least I think you've participated within the Minutes network. Do you have any exposure to Minutes? If so, how deep are you involved? But then what are maybe sort of your thoughts about that? Obviously, Josh, Mickey are very, very close. I would assume that a lot of World Mobile token holders will end up also being Minutes token holders. But can you maybe give us like a little bit of like your game plan about how you plan on incorporating the Minutes network in order to sort of boost, right, your holdings within this sharing economy?
Right. There's a term that everyone passes around the chats called the Watkins maxi, right? So you might want to call me that from time to time, but joke aside, I love what Minutes Network has been doing, and the World Mobile Network and the Minutes Network is very symbiotic because they work hand in hand, right? And they offer various different products, and one of the products that they offered is called Unity Nodes. And if you run Unity Nodes, you're essentially going to be running that on top of an Earthnode network. So every single Earthnode operator benefits from Minutes Network, whether they're involved or not. Same thing with switch nodes and validation nodes. When you run these nodes, you're involved in the Minutes Network, but then on top, you can run it on top of the Earthnode network if you choose to as well. So this is why I'm saying that the two teams are symbiotic and they work with each other. Now, as far as the airdrop, I just wanted to add that I personally think that it's going to be more of a claiming situation. So you would go into a portal, and then based off your WMT holdings is what you're going to receive. So I personally, and don't quote me on this, but I personally don't think that we will be able to claim if we have our funds on exchanges or if we have our funds on DEXs. So I'm not saying this is true or not, but I would personally like to keep my stuff in a hot wallet or a cold wallet just so I can ensure that I'll be able to get that airdrop.
Absolutely. Yep, I agree. And it's difficult just to try and keep up with everything. You know, there's so much going on. Just with World Mobile, we were talking with Mickey yesterday, and I told him, I said, I spend hours just trying to go through the chats, go through the updates, and then when you guys release something, trying to figure out what this means, because I'm not telecoms minded. You know, it's not my I haven't made a career out of that, and so I'm learning all the time. And then trying to just keep with World Mobile is a full-time job, it feels. And then
Yes.
now with Minutes Network and everything they're doing, and it's there's a lot of similarities, but it's a different approach. It's like just trying to understand that and then follow along with what people. And we have so many people that are so much more knowledgeable about this.
Right.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's I'd like to have those tokens ready to go. I'd like to be able to claim or to receive the maximum amount. I mean, I do have some Minutes Network tokens. I have a couple of their nodes. They have a couple of different types of nodes that you can have based on the amount of tokens that you have. And so it'll be exciting to be able to add to that stack even before the staking and the earning starts with those nodes, because it's airdrop, which, you know, you think about it, 2.5% of their entire allocation for our community.
Yeah.
That just says a number of what they think about us and what they know the World Mobile community is going to do for Minutes Network by operating the nodes, by being the back end, being the blockchain, and also because a lot of the World Mobile community has bought into Minutes, so they're just basically it's an extra way to say thank you for being our initial supporters.
Yes. We have another Watkins maxi over here.
Yeah, no, you guys do an amazing job, and I always appreciate you guys jumping on here because you guys are in the weeds, right? You guys are literally breathing World Mobile day in, day out, and so it's always a pleasure to bring you guys on here to be able to hear a little bit about what you guys' strategies are. But then you guys always get a little bit of alpha, right? So I know there's a lot of World Mobile team members here today. Hopefully, we can get some of them to stop by the booth and hopefully to stream with them. I do see that we do again have quite a few ENOs here, so I know it's going to be a tough decision here. But if one of you guys is willing to just temporarily step down, what I would like to do is just briefly bring up a couple of ENOs so we can chat about their experience as well.
My hot wife is right over there, so I'm gonna go stand by her for a minute.
Thank you, Rob. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, Rob.
All right. So we've got one open seat here. Any of the ENOs that you guys are there, if you guys want to jump on stream, it's relatively easy. I believe we've got Eric, who's going to be the first one to join us here.
Let's go, Eric.
While Eric is jumping on here, as you guys are watching the stream, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like, share this out. That said, I mean, Eric, you're here. How are you, man?
Doing great. I love these rare events. It's always great to see the people behind the scenes and get feel a sense of excitement. So I don't have much to add other than great to be here. I'm excited to hear more about what's going on. Glad to be part of the team and looking forward to the future.
If I may, Eric, can you maybe give us a little bit about how you're involved in the World Mobile Network or the World Mobile ecosystem?
Sure. I am an Earnode operator. I have an Earnode NFT, and then I also offer through the CryptoBlocks brand. Earnode is a service for people who may have an Earnode and don't have the technical skills or the ability to host it.
Solid. Clover, did you have any questions you wanted to ask Eric?
I want to add, Eric has been a great help to the entire Earnode community, and we appreciate him very much. And also, Eric this is your second year being here, right? Yeah, he's shown up the first year, and this is the second year. And we have behind these cameras many of the guys over there that this is also their second year. Some of them might even be here for a third year. A lot of the people, once they come to these events, once they make those relationships, they always come back because they see the future and everything we're building here.
Nicely stated. That said, Eric, if you want to stay on, if you got any closing thoughts you want to share with the community, you're more welcome to do that. Otherwise, we'll see if we can get anybody else to jump on.
Together, we're unstoppable.
That is right. Thank you again, Eric. Pleasure to finally get to meet you in person.
Likewise.
Looking forward to doing it again.
Take care.
All right. I believe we've got Colin representing the MAV 100 team jumping on next. Good morning, Colin.
Hey, Free.
How are you doing today, man?
It's been busy. It's Rare Evo. It's the chance to get to see everybody that we've been talking to all these times. And, Cal's here, Rob's here, the whole team's here. You get to see Mickey, you get to see everybody, you get to see Iagon, you get to see Palmyra. And get to see you guys. This is awesome. You have an awesome setup here. And it's awesome what you guys are doing.
If I may, you guys have been expanding within, I want to say it's the Washington area. Can you give us an update about, how many Airnodes you guys are operating? What's the goal and what's the vision for the partnership program? Exactly.
Yeah. So officially we have 11 Airnodes. They're the 300Ws. They're a big skeleton type network. And unofficially, we're working with a bunch of smaller units. They're going to be more house size, building size, business size, and those are going to kind of fill out the network underneath. And there's a lot of research and development going on. So, and then
Colin, tell us about the flower pot, man. What is this flower pot that you guys keep on posting online? What does that do?
So the flower pot, there's going to be different versions. They're basically they're a repeater. So you have the big Airnodes, the Titans, the 300Ws, and then the flower pots are going to be more of a household unit or a repeater. And some you can hook up directly to internet, and some will just work off of the RF signals coming from the bigger towers. And those are going to be the real driver of getting the shared economy going, because they're pretty affordable, and like anybody who wants to get involved with World Mobile, we can go out and talk to them. And when we were going out and selling, sometimes people are like, oh, that's a really good idea, I want to be involved. And those people say, all right, come on in, and now you can be a part of the team. And those are going to be the real driver. They're like the big towers, we'll put those things up, we'll get that global coverage down, but getting the sharing economy going is going to be driven by the flower pots.
Amazing. I think it's also amazing how you have a team like Mav and also the same team like WorldCall in Pakistan, and you don't have World Mobile does not have, and this is the beauty of the sharing economy. Like World Mobile's literally building a booklet and a template on how anyone in the world can roll out an infrastructure. And the Mav 100 guys are the first partner of many, and they're a perfect example of how everything needs to be done.
Nicely put and nicely said there, Clover. I do want to give Colin an opportunity to maybe just give us some closing thoughts. If anybody wants to contribute to Mav 100, how can they do that? Or if there's anything else that you just want to highlight about what you guys are doing, right, to not just grow the sharing economy, but also to spread education about what it is that World is doing. This would be the time to go ahead and do that.
All right. No, that is really what we're going for here. Is right now we're working with the Intersect, and we're building a cover school at Mav 100. And our goal with the cover school, so for everybody that doesn't know, in the United States, people can homeschool their kids. And what they do is they use a cover school to get high school credit, college credit for those classes. And we're going to build a cover school, and we're going to have people teach how does a decentralized telecommunications network work? How do you sell? How, we're going to talk to Iagon. How do you have a decentralized data storage? How do these things work? We're going to have these classes built by these people who are building, and then we're going to have a platform through Self-Driven. If you don't know Mark Byers, go look him up. And we're going to teach kids how this works, how the decentralized economy works, how the sharing economy works, and they're going to be the ones that drive this. And so we want to build that cover school and get kids actual high school credit when they take these classes. And we're also going to teach blockchain, how Cardano works, how stake pools work, how kids can get involved, and then parents are naturally going to want to get involved. And that's what we really want to do, is get into communities and make Cardano the center, like what these communities work around, and actually decentralize our communities. So that's what we're going for.
That is what it's all about. Thank you for what you guys are doing. I recall last year you guys getting the first ever Airnode. You guys have since then expanded and really built out a lot, so just want to say thank you for jumping on stream here and sharing a little bit more about Mav 100. Looking forward to definitely get you guys back on the channel.
And I want to thank World Mobile for making the shared economy possible. Like, they're the first ones that kind of broke that barrier, and now other companies in Cardano are coming around. They're breaking these down, giving us these opportunities. So yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you again, Colin. I believe we've got James Tagg joining us here from the official World Mobile team. This guy I don't think needs any introduction. Clover, if you can maybe get a couple of questions lined up here for James, it would be great. James, thanks for taking the for a World Mobile dedicated live stream. Can you maybe give the community a little bit about who you are and how you're contributing right now to the global sharing economy?
Okay, so a little bit about me. So I'm James Tagg. I'm a techie by background. I'm vaguely famous for being one of the inventors of the touchscreen, but I also made the first VoIP call on a mobile phone. So I've been in sort of connecting the unconnected and alternative what we once called alternative communications. I think this year VoIP over-the-top calls will eclipse regular calls on a mobile phone. So, and 2.4 billion touchscreens are shipped every year. So that's sort of my background. I'm chief architect for World Mobile, which means I do a whole bunch of different things depending on where we are in the business cycle. So I did a lot of business modeling with the manual. I got up on the first roof and wired up the first cellular antenna because I'm an electrical engineer. And, I do a lot of the tokenomics sort of work and working out how the sharing economy divides the money and how it all works. So, lots and lots of different things. I also do all the patents and file patents. We've got our blockchain patent granted recently, so that's quite a good thing.
James the man. He's the brains of the operation, I must say. And I have a question for you, James. How are you liking the event so far? What do you think of the World Mobile Alliance booth? And I know you were here last year, so how can you compare the 2 years back to back as far as attendance and Earthnode operators and now Airnode operators showing up?
Well, I mean, a year ago, crypto was in not the best position, right? So it was a very thin show. We had obviously signed up a lot of people, were still busily building things. I think I'd probably put my first antenna on a roof and got it kind of working, but we really hadn't put it all together so that a partner could take it and run with it. So this week, I mean, to a couple of days ago, a day ago now, well, I think we delivered to our partner all the necessary websites and tariffs and everything to go do a launch. So we're in this sort of, have we launched, or are we in alpha launch or beta launch, or are we not supposed to say we've launched, or have we stage, right? But we're at a point where we've got all the pieces of the puzzle together so we can go out and acquire real customers in the market. And then what's the best thing? Wait 2 weeks and then do a full big splash launch, let it dribble. I don't know. I do marketing, but I don't do marketing.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We have a question coming in here from Dominic Shepard asking for a crayon-worthy explanation of how quantum antennas work. So for anybody who maybe isn't as technical or has as much experience as you do, can you just break down what a quantum antenna is and how that basically makes things easier for World Mobile's mission?
Well, when you say quantum antenna, there's a few different things that you can mean. What I'm working on at the moment specifically is that if you can transmit information in superposition, so that you actually take a photon, split it in two, so now the photon's in two places at once, and you use that photon in two places at once to trigger the transmission. So you get a transmission of a signal from two antennas at the same time. And Mickey, our CEO, has just turned up. And so that's what I'm working on. I should say I have some interesting and promising results. You can see some of them on the internet. I think I've shown you, but I'm not making a claim that I've cracked it and done it and it's done. But in principle, the process will work, right? In principle, you should be able to transmit in superposition and get an effect. Actually doing the engineering to make it work robustly and so on is a real trick. And obviously I have a day job, which is launching a cellular network that connects people from their rooftops. So I get to play with it from time to time. Quantum antennas.
All right. So
That's probably not a crayon. I can do a crayon discussion in a moment when I've had a little bit more time to think about a really good crayon example.
I would love to see if I could get you back on the channel, James. I know you're a busy man. We've also got Mickey here, but to maybe just dive a little bit deeper into those details. I think those are really great questions coming in from the community. And again, I appreciate you sharing a little bit of your time here with us. We've also got Mickey Watkins here in the house. Mickey, welcome on stream. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Fareed. How are you? Good morning, James.
I am great. I am great. Mickey, maybe we just start off with a little bit of a feeler here. I mean, you've been walking around, meeting a lot of people, shaking hands. How's Rare Evo for you this year?
It's much bigger than it was last year. I think Wes has done a fantastic job and the rest of the team. And of course, it's an honor. We've had a lot of people turn out from the World Mobile Alliance and Earthnode operators. And it's great to see everybody. And of course, I'm humbled by the support.
Perfect. Thank you. I would love to maybe just see if there's anything that you can share with us, right, that you've maybe learned here at Rare Evo, or that might be coming out about Airnode batch number 2. I know there's been a lot of talk about that. You've been speaking with other members here. Mike, I know, isn't here, right? So let's not talk about embargoes today. But is there any alpha you can share with us here? And I also want to open up to the community. If you guys watching here live want to maybe ask Mickey or James any questions, go ahead and leave those live in the chat here.
Airnode batch 2, drop 1 sold out pretty damn quick. We're looking forward to drop 2. That should be in early September, we believe. But what have I learned here? The excitement for DePin. Finally, everybody's getting it. It's like real world is coming to crypto. Maybe this is the biggest sector for crypto right now, and there's a lot of excitement.
Now, I believe this is sort of an open-ended question for the both of you. You know, what are you guys most excited about when it comes to World Mobile in the next maybe 6 months to a year? And I also want to ask you about Minutes Network with Josh Watkins as well. So maybe we let James go first, talking about maybe what you're looking forward to. Mickey will go over to you, and then I'd love to shift the conversation to Minutes.
Well, at the moment, we are sort of deploying in Reno and in a small section of Washington State. And you do that with a cellular network because you need your customers to be in the same place as your coverage for cellular. Otherwise, you don't get the benefit of the building the network. So what we're looking forward to is being able to take that model and then duplicate it across more cities in America. And you can kind of launch the crypto community like the family right the way across America straight away, because that they'll buy for themselves. But for a general launch to the general public, we need to launch sort of city by city, and that's how you always do it with a mobile network in the USA. So I'm looking forward to lots of nice travel to nice cities in America.
I think you've done them all already, James.
I have, yes.
So from my perspective, I'm looking forward to getting more data, scan for points. I think that's good. But of course, the growth has been so big, and it continues to be big and bigger month on month. So watching the progress, working with the community to make that happen, very, very exciting time. And again, humbled by the support that we've got here and the ever-growing World Mobile community.
Yeah, nicely stated. And we've got some questions rolling in here. So let's maybe see if we can get a couple of responses from you guys. So one question coming in from Zero Thix asking, question for Mr. T, what's the main message you're trying to get across to the World Mobile community at Rare Evo?
There is not a main message, I would say. It's the same message as always. Together we're unstoppable. Together we can do this. Together we can become the biggest mobile network operator in the world. And we're on track. That's the message.
Okay, we've got another question.
Let me answer that question for you. We came with a partner stand, right?
Yes,
we didn't have our own stand. So the message, I guess, would be we do it with partners rather than in our own right.
Yeah,
Sorry to answer your question.
we do it with everybody, right? That's what makes us so strong. We're not one, we're not 100 people, we're not 1,000 people. Eventually, the World Mobile community will be millions and millions of people owning Airnodes, operating Earthnodes, working with hexes to market, and that's the way that we grow. That's the way we connect 1 billion people by 2030.
Perfect. We've got an additional question here, and then I'll give you guys an opportunity to give me some closing thoughts. I don't want to take up all of your guys' time. I know we've got speeches going on with RFK here in a little bit, so I do want to give you guys the opportunity to join and jump into that as well. All right, so the next one is coming in from Carlo Paterno, who's asking, when can we get Airnodes deployed in Argentina? And maybe we just broaden this out. Like, what is the next location for Airnodes? And then are we going to see any expansion out of batch number 2 from the United States?
In batch number 2, there may be an expansion. There may be a drop that's outside, but we're more likely batch 3. But maybe some surprises there. In terms of where will we see World Mobile, we're almost at a stage where we've got an ecosystem where anybody can choose where they launch a network. That doesn't mean that we have spectrum in all those places, but you don't necessarily need spectrum in all those places. Of course, the best is to have 3 layers of spectrum. That's the best resilience for a network. But if we see a community building out in Argentina, or in Brazil, in a different country, we can focus our attention. Now that the sharing economy is proven, now that Airnode operator is in the wild, now that Airnode operators are getting paid, the next step for us is Earthnode operators. So over the next weeks, the Earthnode operators' reality will become very real for them. And that's an exciting moment. It's something that they've been waiting for a long time. It's something that I'm super excited for. At that point, we've done the sharing economy. So the next step is, how do we enable people to come out and build the network? How do we enable groups of people to decide that they want to put a network here? It should not James's point was, we didn't have a stand here this year, and it's beautiful because actually the presence is bigger than ever, and the World Mobile Alliance have set up the stands. So actually people should get together and decide where they want to build. Now the job for us is to provide those tools. Now the sharing economy is there, we can focus on the tools to allow people to market, to build, to maintain, to optimize, and maximize the network effect.
Alrighty, so as we get ready to wind things down again, I want to be very mindful of our time here. One thing I mentioned that I do want to talk a little bit about earlier is the Minutes Network. So, Mickey, what's going on with Minutes Network? We finally got some information about the airdrop. How much of a collaboration are we going to see between you or the World Mobile community and Minutes? And then we'll jump into the closing thoughts here, and I'll turn that over to James to kick us off with the closing thoughts once we hear a little bit from you about
Okay,
Minutes.
sure. So Minutes Network is a $251 billion industry. Minutes Network is looking to tackle that problem. There's a very close relationship. Clearly, Josh and I are brothers. We've been working together for the last 20, 25 years, and we still continue to work together. Right now, we're piping in all of the traffic into the World Mobile chain and making sure that that comes online. They've got their SDK coming out, they've got Unity coming out, they've got another few features coming out. They're about to tackle SMS, and for all mobile network operators, Minutes Network is very useful. So supporting them, mentoring them as much as we can to make it happen. But of course, our focus is on World Mobile, but Minutes Network is in great hands with Josh.
Yeah, I mean, we will be done with sort of the basic launch of Reno with a full broadband and cellular service soon-ish, and then we're interested in partners. So, our Argentina example, I field a lot of inbound from different countries. Like, how would I do World Mobile in my country? But right now, how would I do World Mobile in Nebraska or the Bronx or something like that? We really want to we want to focus at the moment on the USA, but I'll take inquiries from almost anybody.
Closing thoughts are, watch very closely over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, and your minds are going to be blown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that will do it here for today's World Mobile Line Stream. We've got just a couple of minutes before we hear from RFK and Charles Hoskinson. So I want to give Mickey and James Tag a huge thank you for taking the time to come here and join me on stream. I'd love to chat with the both of you guys again. If it's not here, even when we get back, just to really keep in touch with what is going on at World Mobile. That said, for the viewers, if you guys have enjoyed any portion of today's stream, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. Make sure to share this out. We're going to try and get as much of this out as possible. We're going to try to go live again here later this afternoon, but again, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. That said, I think that will wrap it up here for today's stream. I want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Clover Nodes, to Rob, who's actually made this happen. He was able to go track the both of you gentlemen down to get you guys over here, which again, I really appreciate. I did not expect that. I know that we're going to be speaking with some of the World Mobile operators or the Earthnode operators here, but I didn't expect to hear from actual team members today. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to jump on here and give us an update about World Mobile. That said,
thank you, Fareed. You're our favorite. Smash it, as always. Thank you very much for having us. And together, we're unstoppable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it here. Take care, everybody. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.